Hello everyone, I'm Nathan Barnes and I'm teaching Introduction to the New Testament at Wayland Baptist University. I have a PhD in New Testament history. I believe the entire name of my degree is a Doctor of Philosophy in the Interpretation of the New Testament in Early Christian Literature. They have since changed that, shortened it a bit, but essentially it's the same thing. I basically studied the New Testament for a long time and earned the degree. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Wayland Baptist, and I started out at a little junior college in Levelland, Texas called South Plains College. I just wanted to let you know a few things up front about me. I wear a hat all the time. The reason why is because I'm bald, and the light back behind me it shines off of my head. So I thought that would be more distracting than just covering it up a little bit. Um, I'm located in Fort Worth, Texas, so root for the home team, Texas Rangers. They lost today in the 13th inning, and I'm not too worked up about it. I am upset that Josh Hamilton is no longer with us. They are playing a commercial with Josh Hamilton now. He's with the Angels, and I don't think they should be playing that commercial here at where he left us, high and dry. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Just some things that you'll see in my lectures. You're going to see my hat. I always try to wear a collar shirt, and my wife makes fun of me because I wear these. These are gaming glasses. This is what gamers wear so they can sit in front of their computer screen for 24 hours or more. And I sit in front of my computer screen about 17 hours a day. So at the end of a long day, I can't see, so I have to wear these. And she thinks I look like a complete dork, and she's made fun of me relentlessly, but I wear them anyway because they're functional. I will try to get some more stylish glasses at some point, but for now, this is what works for me. Another thing I always do is always have a glass of tea. This is about a pitcher's worth of tea, but I drink a lot. It is tea or Dr. Pepper. So you're going to see that a lot in the videos. So just to introduce you to the course, first I'm going to introduce you to the syllabus. And you'll notice here the weekly assignments is the home page for the course. And I have my little picture of Marcion. I did my my PhD dissertation on women in philosophy, and you see here there are two women on each side. They're holding a scroll, and this woman actually is holding a second scroll, and they're educated and learning philosophy from Marcion. And Marcion was a 3rd century heretic. He was excommunicated from the church in 144, so I guess that's 2nd century. And you'll learn more about him in other classes, hopefully. But and you know what? If memory serves, this could be Plotinus, who was a Platonic philosopher. I just can't remember offhand, but the sarcophagus for Plotinus and Marcion are about the same. They look very, very similar. The weekly assignments here are a guide for you to remember what's assigned for the week, and you'll see week 1. You're going to have some. You're going to have some reading. We're going to hit the ground running in the course. So be sure and get your textbook. Bruce Metzger, his Introduction to the New Testament. It's what we're going to use for a textbook along with the Bible. And one thing that I always find interesting when I'm teaching this course is that a lot of people haven't read the New Testament all the way through. And in this 10-week course, it's an 11-week course, and there are 10 weeks of reading. We're going to read the entire New Testament. And we're going to read a good portion of Metzger's book, not all of it. So we're going to start out with an introduction to the background of Palestinian Judaism, and also Appendix 1 and 2 of his book. So you'll notice that the assignments are the same every week. there are 6 steps, and you just check them off as you go down the list. And I also have resources online, which are usually websites that I'd like to introduce you to. And all assignments are due on the Sunday night by 11:59 Central Standard Time. And we use Central Standard Time because that's the time in Plainview. And Plainview is the center of the universe for Wayland Baptist University. So so you have a week basically to do all the assignments. And let's go to the syllabus video. And what I'll do is I'm always going to have the current week at the top. So I move week 1 down so that week 2 will be up, and so on and so forth. So whenever you log in and you click on the course, you're going to automatically go to the weekly assignments. And you should also definitely check your announcements. But I'm going to be emailing those to you anyway, so you should already know all the announcements. I'm going to click on syllabus video. Sorry for that look. Okay, here's the syllabus. And my professor has always said, welcome to New Testament history. This is not economics or history or any other course like that, so you might as well, you need to get up and leave if you're in the wrong place. But obviously you're not in the wrong place because this is an online course. So you know who I am, Nathan J. Barnes. I have my phone number for you, and I'm going to be honest with you and say my email address here is the best way to get a hold of me. I don't always answer my phone because I can't keep up with the darn thing. So please email me if you have any questions. I'm always glad to hear from students. I am a very busy guy, but I'm never too busy to interact with students. I respond to emails, as I just said, and I'm best available, and look at this time slot, between 9 a.m. and 2 a.m. Central Standard Time, which means you're probably going to get an email pretty quick if you email me between these 2 times, because I'm either on the computer or I have my phone on me, hopefully. The location and date, virtual campus, May 27 through August 10, and you can read the catalog description. Resources, there are 2 required texts, as I said earlier. The first one is the standard Bible that the religion department requires, which is the NIV Study Bible, and it's an outstanding text. You'll learn that I'm not a fan of the NIV translation, but this is really a masterpiece of scholarship. So you can buy that and keep it. It's going to be of service to you for the rest of your life. Another required text is Bruce Metzger. Now you can get any edition of Metzger, and that's why I did not list page numbers in the syllabus. I listed titles of the chapters, and the editions are very different from one another, but he doesn't change his mind drastically, so you're going to be learning the same thing everyone else is, no matter what edition you get. I am using the 2nd edition, but you can use whatever edition you can get your hands on. I have the ISBN number here for your convenience, and also the ebook is available at kobobooks.com, and I believe that it's, if you get on Amazon, it's about $6. If you buy here, it's like 24. And it varies every semester. And other resources that you'll need will be provided for you. Now, the course learning outcomes are very important. I've been studying the New Testament for 13 years, and I barely skim the surface. But there are some mountaintops that we can talk about that are fundamental in studying the New Testament and understanding the New Testament. So I've lowered that down to 4 with help from the religion department. We're going to demonstrate knowledge of the historical, religious, and social context of the New Testament world. In other words, the theory is that you cannot understand the New Testament unless you understand the world in which it came from. I've said in the past that the New Testament is like it was delivered to people on Mars. We cannot relate to the people on Mars uh, easily. We can't just pick up their text and understand it. We got to learn about the Martians. We got to understand the the way that society works and the religion that they have and every other thing that we can think of. We need to understand that before we can understand the text. The New Testament was delivered to a world that was completely different from ours, but it is similar enough for us to learn about them. They're still people, and people still basically function the same way as they used to. But everything else is different. The religious context, the historical context, and the social contexts are completely foreign, and therefore you need to learn them. You're also going to demonstrate knowledge of some of the critical methods used in New Testament studies. Now, critical means scientific. And so, for 200 years, the New Testament has been studied by using logic and reason and not just faith. So, there are very, very many uh, critical methods that scholars use, and I only want you to know 3 or 4 of them. Namely, the historical method, the religious method, and the social context method. You'll notice that you're not going to use a religious method to understand the historical context, and you're not going to use the social context to understand the religious context. They overlap, of course, but they're different disciplines. We're going to demonstrate an understanding of the basic content of the New Testament, which means we're going to read the New Testament and we're going to think about it and apply it to our lives. And the other thing is demonstrating knowledge of the canonical process. And the canonical process is how these writings, they were separate writings to different people in different churches, and these writings came together into one New Testament. And that is the canonical process. And canon means rule, the rule by which we measure these documents to put them into one book. So, as we said earlier, all weekly assignments are due on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So the course basically runs from Monday to Monday. The next minute is Monday in the a.m. So that's how the course runs. Most weeks have an assigned reading in Metzger and or the New Testament. The first week it's just Metzger, and it's a lot of reading, but we're not always going to read that much. So don't be scared. I don't want to scare anybody off, but we really need to get a lot of background knowledge at the beginning in order to understand and go through the rest of the course. There's a short reading review, and I'm going to have a separate. I usually have a separate reading review video, but I think I can cover that at the end of this lecture. The reading review is about half a page, single-spaced, of writing based on what you've read. I don't want proof that you've read the text. I want to know what you think about the text. That's 2 different things. I could know you've read it by a simple true-false quiz, but I want you to think about it and I want to hear from you. So what I've done is I ask you to think of 2 questions. Now this is a different way of teaching. It's a different way of thinking that you're probably used to. Now, so you read Metzger and pick one thing that sticks out in your mind and develop a question about it and tell me why you asked the question. You don't need to answer it. You simply need to ask it. And I found that asking the right question displays your knowledge in ways that just regurgitating material does for you. So I will show you examples of good reading reviews. We will take advantage of the forums. We're going to take advantage of everything that Blackboard has to offer. So we're going to be using as much of the course as we can in interacting with Blackboard. The one thing that I want you to do is discussing these issues in the forums. And what I need you to do is uh, address one question that I will ask you. I'm going to come up with 3 questions each week, and we're going to require just one response to those questions, and then 3 responses to other students' posts. So this is really not that hard. Most people make more posts than this on Facebook in 15 minutes than you're going to be posting for the course. Now, why do I require so little? Well, that's a good question, but hopefully, this is the bare minimum that you should do, and hopefully the questions will be compelling enough to where we're going to discuss them a little bit. Usually, my classes have uh, posted all of their required posts on Sunday night at about 11 o'clock. So if people want to interact with each other earlier than that, it's very difficult. So if you could post a little bit on Wednesday or Thursday and then post on Sunday, it would really make the course a lot better. But I understand if that's what we have to do. There is a midterm and there's a final exam. The midterm is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. The midterm is going to be a review of your choice of 3 YouTube videos. And I have the same set of questions for all 3 because they're all 3 similar enough. And you're going to critique these videos based on what you've learned. So it's not supposed to be that difficult, but I do want you to think. The final exam is a traditional exam taken online. So it's your basic true-false questions and a lot of essay questions. Essay questions are 5 sentences, so it's not like write a whole lot. And then another weekly assignment is a blog entry, and that's 100 words, and you can basically write whatever you want to related to the course. I assume you have internet access. I assume you're going to attend. We do have services for the disabled. There's a course evaluation system here. Let's see. Okay, procedure for complete computation of the final grade. My grading is very simple. There are 5 components to the course. There's the reading reviews, the blog postings, the discussion postings, and the tests. Each one is worth 20% of the grade. So I'm going to average your reading reviews, 20% of the grade, average the blogs, that's 20% of the grade, and the discussion postings. Okay, now there's 2 exams, and this is something that can make a big difference in your grade. You notice that the midterm is 20% of the grade, and so is the final, just by itself. And the rest of them, the readings and the blogs and the discussions are lots of grades. So you can bomb some and make A's on some. And the midterm and final, if you do poorly on those, you're going to see a pretty dramatic difference in your grade. So please do your best on those. Late assignments are not accepted, and the reason for this is the online course is a living thing. We're having conversations, and you can't come into a conversation when the conversation's over. Now, I do allow for you to go back. If you've already completed your assignment for week 1 and you see that there's a post you'd like to respond to, it's always open for you to go back. But chances are nobody's going to read it because the conversation's ended. So late work assignments are not accepted. Now, I do sometimes offer extra credit work, but what I've found is that extra credit, students that do the extra credit don't need it. So that's just the way it is. So anyway, Late assignments are not accepted, so please turn your work in on time. And I have a very easy policy on this because I only grade on Mondays, and I only grade the stuff that's accepted, so if something comes in late, I don't even see it. Okay, the course outline and calendar is exactly the same thing that's on the home page of the course. And let's see if I can go there now. These are the weekly assignments. You know, the required reading, listening to the lecture, complete the reading review, check discussion section of week 1 assignments in Blackboard, and then select a question of your choice, give your student response, in a minimum of 100 words in a single post. Now, I've never counted words before. What I don't want you to say is simply yes, no, I agree, good, these one word, meaningless posts. You can do that after you've made your minimums, but, please, we want substantial discussion. So that's the syllabus. If you have questions, please let me know. And I will now discuss the reading reviews. I just have to think for a minute. This is a new course for me too. Reading review samples. Okay, I know that a lot of people struggle with reading reviews. My first 2 courses, the students just had no idea what was going on the first couple of weeks, and we cannot lose the first couple of weeks. So I found some good ones, and I want you to read these because I make comments here. The basic format of these these reading reviews is a question 1 addressing Metzger, or the first component of your reading. We don't have Metzger every week, but when you do have Metzger and you do have the New Testament, you come up with a question on each one. So it's question 1 and question 2, and the student clearly identified the question for me so I can know what they're talking about. And then the student discussed here why they asked a question. So it's really simple, but it makes you think, so it kind of hurts a little bit, but it doesn't make you think too much. So that's that. Just 2 questions. One is for Metzger, one is for the New Testament. If you have just Metzger, so you do 2 questions on Metzger. If you have the New Testament, you do 2 on the New Testament. Very simple. And then you can come down here to Jessica's paper. The introductory paragraph is welcome, but it's not required. I am going to read it, but it doesn't affect your grade. And then you address the questions. Question 1 created by the student. Jesus' followers may have believed in him, but did that make a difference spiritually? Excellent question. So she talks about why she asked the question. And then question 2, did divine intervention play a role in the leader's blindness? And then why she asked it. So it's not that difficult, but it tells me that you've thought about the material a little bit. And the goal of this course, the singular goal of this course, is that you know enough about the New Testament to talk intelligently about it. There's no other purpose for anything that we do in the course. We're going to practice talking about it in the forums, and then the critique of the YouTube video is a critique of something that is popular now in Christianity, and someone may ask you about videos like this, and you can apply what you've learned in this course. So everything is immediately relevant that you're going to be learning in this course, and it will contribute to your understanding of the New Testament. So I hope that you join us and join me in all the lectures. And I look forward very much to reading your reading reviews. And also, I look forward to discussions with you. If you have any questions, please give me an email, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks so much.